The cryptocurrency markets continue to be shaky, and Luna Classic has also lost around 4% today. So let's discuss what's happening with Luna Classic. There is actually news of burns coming up very soon, so you guys are going to want to be aware of that. And we are going to be looking at the overall market so you guys can be fully up to date. If you do want to support the channel, all I ask is you smash that like button if you do appreciate these Luna Classic videos. And also, if you could, and you are new here, smash up the subscribe and let's jump into it. So as we can see right now, Luna Classic is a price of 0.0001039, down 4% on the day. We can see the market cap sits at 600 million with a 21 million daily volume, up 31% on the day. Recently, we did reach a low of that 0.00102 mark, and we have bounced a little bit from there, but we can see on the yearly, we are actually only down 6.75% with two peaks of Luna Classic. As we know, like I say on this channel all the time, accumulating in the red periods and actually taking profits in the green periods, so you have money to either reinvest into Luna Classic or into other opportunities, is the way that I think is the best to play this market. We don't know if Luna Classic will ever come back to the highs of what people expect. Now, it's not going to go back to its old all-time highs before the ultimate crash around 2 years ago, but a lot of people do expect, you know, a 1 cent, a 10 cent, or a $1 even mark. I don't think that that is very likely. The potential of a 1 cent is the only one that I'm really giving any thought to. That would be around 100x from where we sit right now, and that would be pretty incredible, right? $1,000 would turn into $100,000 if that happened. $100 would turn into $10,000. Those are the sort of estimates and the amount of money that I would be risking in something like this. I wouldn't be risking anything that you couldn't afford to go to absolute zero, but having, you know, $10 that turns into $1,000 or $100 that turns into $10,000 is pretty incredible in my eyes. So if you could get hold of that, that would be pretty cool. But of course, you have to be willing for these to go to absolute zero because that is on the cards. Now, there is some news that is happening here. Binance Luna Classic Burn, Terra Luna Classic Burn estimates, and why Luna Classic price might rally. So if you didn't know, the world's largest crypto exchange, Binance, is still burning Luna Classic tokens. This will be the 21st batch of Luna Classic tokens that they have burned in their burn mechanism, and this will be taking place on Wednesday. Binance has actually continued supporting the community for Luna Classic since the revival of 2022. I can't believe how long that was. This channel basically started back then, and absolutely incredible journey it's been. Binance is still burning since then, and even with CZ behind bars, or not behind bars yet, but maybe very soon, even since he stepped down, they are still doing the burns. And the crypto exchange Binance has burned over 57 billion Luna Classic tokens, accounting for just over 50% of the total amount burnt by the community in total, which is pretty huge, right? In the 20th Luna Classic burn mechanism, they burned 4.7 billion and the exchange burned 4.17 billion. In the trading fees on the Luna Classic spot and Marding trading pairs worth $722,000. That's quite a lot, right? I think that's very good. And this is going to continue to help the price of Luna Classic. Now, it definitely doesn't guarantee anything, but having Binance continuing these burns each and every time is a pretty big deal. And only time will really tell us exactly how this will play out. Like I said, small amounts of money can turn into a lot of money, so there's no reason to be risking your entire net worth in something like this. But having some exposure, just like I do, will probably pay off pretty well. With that said, let's figure out what is going on in the rest of the market so we can have a broad understanding of what is going on. The last time Bitcoin pulled back anything like we're seeing right now, Bitcoin then went on a run of over 90%. And that was just in this bull run. In the last bull run, we saw pullbacks of way bigger magnitude than we are seeing today, and then pumps of over 300%. So today we are going to be discussing exactly what is happening in this market, because you guys are going to miss out on this, all right? I don't know what else to say. You're going to miss out on this run if you're running off scared right now. As we can see here, Bitcoin's price hit a peak of around 72,000. Since then, it pulled back 19%. The time before that was right here. If memory serves me correctly, this is in and around the ETF news, all right? We got news that the ETF was going to come out. I'm pretty sure this pump right here was when we got that fake news that the ETF was launched. Anyway, the ETF was launched, and then we hit a high of $49,000 to then reach a low of 21.7% down from that. What happened immediately after that? we saw a pump of 90%, 90.31% to be precise. Now, with that said, we were in a bull market then, but you have to ask yourself, are we still in a bull market now? Or is this the end? Is this time going to be different to every other time that we've seen in the past? Or is this just the same thing playing out again? Now, I know there's two sides of the coin here. I see it with my comments. There's people who think that this is 100% over. This whole thing was a scam pump and everything's going to die. And there are the people who are loading the boat. They are getting ready. They are buying the dip. And it's my belief that the people who are in fact loading the boat now and buying the dip are going to be rewarded for that. Do I have any proof of that? Well, no. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I have no idea. You guys, listen to me. I don't know what is coming next. All I know is that I've been in this market since 2017. So what's that, like 7 years, right? And oh my God, time is going too fast. 7 years, it's been 4 years since COVID. Anyway, 4 years since I bought the $3,000 Bitcoin during that COVID dip. But with that said, this is what I think is happening on a technical level, or what will happen next on a technical level, to put it better. We have this huge support here at 62,000. We have hit it 1, 2, 3 times now. And we can see right here that the bulls were not as in charge as the bears. You can see when we pushed up here, we got a very nice momentum push here of around 15%. The next time we hit it was here, and we only had a push of around 8%, and then getting rejected off this, what was an upward sloping support, which is now a resistance. What we can see playing out, maybe, oh, don't annoy me. Maybe here, this is the end. This is us knocking on the door of 62,000 to lose it. Or this is our last real opportunity. Now, for the way I see it, hear me correctly, I want Bitcoin to come into this region. 52,000 to 62,000. This is a lovely, 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 lovely squiggly line region for me to be buying Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin yesterday at 62,000, and today it's dropped down to 62,900. Sorry, I bought Bitcoin yesterday at 63,000, and today it's dropped below it. But I don't care. I want you guys to be aware of this. I don't care, because what I'm seeing is the biggest opportunity we've seen in this bull run. Look at this one here. This is sideways accumulation, ETF news, and then dump, right? What are we seeing here? Basically, the blow off of the ETF news hitting us all the way up there, sideways accumulation, and then potentially we are going to have the dump. Remember, this dump was 21%. This dump has been 19%. I want this dump to be bigger. I know what happens next. Let's drop this into the weekly right here, or the daily, in fact. Look at this. All of my squiggly lines. Let's get rid of the squiggly lines. Look at this one. We had the 54% drop here to then have Bitcoin go on 130% run. This is during a bull market. If you believe we are still in a bull market, which I believe, then things are going to get pretty tasty pretty soon. Also, what else is going to get absolutely wild are altcoins. We have seen big pullbacks in the market, right? This is the trending coins on CoinMarketCap. Everything on this list is down apart from one singular apart from one singular token here, which is Core. Tether Gold, whatever that might be, is up 5%, but bugger off. We're talking about Core here, 58% up. As you know, I bought this on that big old dip that we had, the initial push downwards. But what do I see here? Huge opportunity, all right? I don't know what's going to happen. Of course, I have no idea. But every time in history, during a bull market, when we have these pullbacks, Bitcoin pushes back with veracity. Then in turn, the altcoins go absolutely crazy. Now, altcoins have pulled back. You can see we are having a bit of a pullback here. But this is our YouTube DCA portfolio, where we've been DCAing into cryptocurrencies since May last year. And we're still up $7,500. If we can make it through this point, I think what happens on the other end is going to be absolutely monumental. And right now is the opportunity, if you believe that's going to happen. I'm not here to tell you that it is, but I'm here to tell you that I believe it's going to happen. That's why I'm dollar cost averaging into this market. Now, we can look at good news and we can look at bad news, right? We have bad news in this market. There is news of the US going into recession. Negative GDP. This is what comes 2 to 3 quarters from now. Negative GDP. Massive rate cuts by the Fed. Layoffs. $3,000 gold, a surge in the supply of existing homes. It's my belief that this right here is going to be the precursor to Bitcoin going absolutely crazy. The US goes into a recession. A lot of the world is in recession. And we have ETFs for Bitcoin, which is digital gold by anyone's imagination. And I think that this is going to be very, very bullish for Bitcoin. It may not be that bullish for altcoins in the long run, but I do believe that we're going to have a huge pump waiting for us. Now, as we speak, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they are producing, in my opinion, longer-term bullish patterns. We can see this on Ethereum. This is a bull flag, in my opinion, and I believe we are going to break through this, but we may retest the $2,500 region for Ethereum before that happens. I have these positions open over on BYDeFi. If you do want an exchange to trade on, feel free to trade on BYDeFi. I have huge deposit bonuses waiting for you down there in the description, but I have this. I have an Ethereum position, I have a Bitcoin position. I have a Bitcoin position that is up almost $4,000, and I have an Ethereum position that is down $18. Damn, it just pumped. I wanted to buy it down here. It was down significantly more when I was setting up this video. This was down a lot more. But I want to keep adding to these positions because I believe that Ethereum is about to bounce. So we have a 20x long on Ethereum right here. My account size, I've got $4,000 left in the account. It's around $9,000, I think. We have made almost 50% of this account from one trade, right? From one single trade that is still open. But I'm going to long that here. I've just added to my position. We can see here, I've added basically another $50 of margin to this trade. And I believe that this is going to pump. I think we're going to make some money from this. And as you can see, my margin is small, right? I don't have a lot in this trade. I can lose, but what I could do is I can put in a stop loss here or watch the charts and make sure that if we head downwards and the trend changes and I don't longer believe that we are going to go up, I can close the position. But this is how we make money. We can do it with leverage, or we can do it on the spot market. You can buy crypto directly on BYDeFi on the spot market. There's no need to use leverage if you don't want to use it. But this is what I'm doing because I believe that we are going to go up. I do believe that crypto, the search term, is going to change over time. This is the past 12 months. You can see we had this big peak here and we have since come down to basically where we were before that. But this is going to swap around. When this swaps around, we're going to see altcoins go crazy. We're going to see meme coins go crazy because the retail investors are back. With that said, let's look at some bullish reasons as to why I am still bullish on the market, right? Bitcoin ETF bandwagon heads to Australia after $53 billion haul in the US, right? So in Australia, they want to start opening exchange-traded funds, right? ETFs, self-managed pension assets could flow into new products. So this is very bullish for the market. We also, of course, have Hong Kong doing something similar. The Bitcoin ETF starts trading this week, April 30th, followed by the Bitcoin Asia Conference in Hong Kong, May 9 to 10. Huge news. Big whales could be jumping into this market or dumping their cash into this market. We're also seeing Bitcoin balances on exchanges hit 6-year low and is down 8% since the first of this year. What does that mean? It means that Bitcoin that is ready to buy is at a 6-year low. We are at a price of $62,000 and there is almost no Bitcoin available to buy. Once the ETFs switch around again. Of course, we still have massive selling from Grayscale, but basically the inflows have stopped from all the other ETFs. This will swap around again. The reason I believe this has stopped is because retail are not interested right now. And yes, I'm afraid to tell you that a lot of the inflows are from retail. Once the Google Trends swap, watch it closely. Once Bitcoin's price starts to go up, trust me, it seems crazy because you can buy Bitcoin at a much cheaper price now. But once Bitcoin hits 72,000 again, which I believe it will, with this, no Bitcoin on exchanges, with Grayscale probably starting to slow down because they're going to run out of Bitcoin soon enough to sell. There's going to be a liquidity crunch. There's going to be a supply crunch. And on top of that, we have massive liquidations. Here, we can see plain as day that the majority of the liquidations sit with people who are shorting the market. That's why if the price goes up, we get liquidations. Here are the liquidations if the price goes down, right? But it's very clear that the majority of the liquidations sits in the favor for the manipulators if the price goes up. They want the price to go up because it's $8.6 or $9 billion worth of liquidations waiting up, right? This is at a price of, this is only at 70,000 now. This was 75,000 before. $9 billion at 70,000. That's not even the old all-time high. If we look at this, we got around 2.7 billion if Bitcoin hits 55K. So if we look at the chart again, it's possible that Bitcoin does come down. I will be opening positions in here. If we drop anywhere in this squiggly line region, I'm going to be buying Bitcoin. I would absolutely love to open some long leverage positions, big positions down here at the $52,000 region. It might be a good idea for me to set up these buys as we go down. Hopefully I can catch them. If we have a wick, I can catch them all, right? That's what I would love to see. And I think that this is the likely scenario, that we do something like this and then we break and then we go parabolic. Retail come back into the space and then that's when we see the altcoins also go crazy. This is all speculation, but this is what I see in the market. I see no reason why this wouldn't happen. In 2015 to 2017 cycle, Bitcoin peaked 580 days after the halving we just had. 19 to 21, Bitcoin peaked 546 days. If history repeats itself, the next bull market peak occurs 500 to 546 days after the halving. That would be mid-October 2025. But currently, Bitcoin is accelerating this cycle by approximately 220 days. So the longer that Bitcoin consolidates after the halving, the better it will be for resynchronizing this current cycle with traditional halving cycles. Now, time in, time out, we see this happening. History does not repeat itself, but it rhymes, right? We probably will see the same scenario play out over the long term, but you just need to be patient. You need to stay in the market. You need to stay watching videos like this where you get insights into the market. So you might as well smash up that subscribe button right now if you do appreciate it. But again, guys, I don't know what will happen. All I can tell you is that since the start of the 2017 bull run where I started, I learned so many lessons. I've lost and made so much money. Money I couldn't even imagine was possible, right? Just since this bear market where I was buying, for example, Bitcoin miners, unimaginable amounts of money in 6 months, right? I took the profit. Now I'm sitting on the cash. You followed that journey with me from the bear market into the bull market, and I hope that some of you guys did exactly the same thing. But we have the cash now. So I'm going to reinvest this cash. I'm going to buy these dips, and I'm very excited to see where we go next. We also have the banana effect. 2011, 2014, 2019, 2022. This plays out again. We see Bitcoin at 300K as a new high. Again, I put it to you. What difference does it make if Bitcoin is 62K today, 52K tomorrow, 46K the next day, 42K the next day, 37 the next day, and everyone thinks everything is dead, but you accumulated as much Bitcoin as you possibly could. And then in 1 year, the price of Bitcoin is 300K. Who gives a crap where you bought it? And again, I caveat that. I don't know if that will play out. Bitcoin might go to zero. But this is what I believe and what I'm doing in this market. With that said, jumping back into some more bullish news. I'm sounding very bullish today because I want to be the voice of reason in this market. The market is not great, right? People are scared. This is the voice that's coming directly from me. I'm just blah, 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 I'm just saying stuff, word vomit into you guys to show you how I feel about this market. If you don't believe me or don't get it, I don't have time to convince you, right? Look, every time at the halving, 2 red monthly candles, a red monthly candle directly after the halving. And right now we are on 1 red monthly candle. Again, we might see 2 of this. This is a big pullback. This is from like $700 all the way down to about $400. A big pullback. We saw a massive pullback before the 2021 and we saw a little one just after. And most likely we're going to see the same thing again. Look, it's almost identical patterns that are playing out. Like I said, the history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. You can see here we had a big push up and then a huge pullback. Here we're having a big push up. Probably the huge pullback might come after the halving, but we don't know yet. But this is what you need to be prepared for, all right? Analysts are also eyeing 300K price as Bitcoin approaches the most aggressive part of the bull cycle. The most aggressive part of the last bull cycle was here, right? This was the most aggressive. Right here, between here and here, oh, so ugly. Sorry, guys, I'm going to have to turn that off. But all here, this is where I made all of my money on altcoins. Not so much here. All here, right? The most aggressive part of the bull run came after a 54% drop, okay? 56%, 54%, whatever it is. So that might be what we're in right now. Or we might go to zero from here. Who knows? But we didn't go to zero this time. We didn't go to zero this time. We didn't go to zero when Russia invaded Ukraine and the price of Bitcoin went to $15,000 and everyone told you it was going to zero. But what were we doing here on this channel? We were buying this dip, right? It didn't go to zero then. Why would it go to zero now? And if we go lower anywhere between here and the lows, right? Is that not a buying opportunity like it has been every other time? Or am I crazy? Let me know in the comment section if you think I'm crazy, because maybe I am. And maybe I'm completely wrong. I am not a guru. I am just a guy sitting in his room. That changes from time to time because I like to move around, right? Nothing's changed. I'm still the same guy who just blindly believes that this whole crypto stuff that we're doing will pay off. It's paid off for me quite a lot, but I want it to pay off way more. And I want it to pay off for you guys even more. The reason why I started this channel in the first place was to document my journey and to share my experiences and to make friends and to talk to people and have this whole community that we've built. I couldn't be happier. I couldn't thank you guys more for what we've experienced. And I really hope that you appreciate these videos and that we can continue this journey together. So if you do, and you enjoyed this video and you made it this far, again, guys, you are the ones who watch these videos all the way through, and I cannot thank you enough. I'm here because of you guys. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.